Hello, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. This is Gaius Bowling from JoBlo.com. It's a pleasure to meet you, Adam.
Nice to meet you.
I watched the film last night and then fired it up again this morning just so it was like fresh in my mind. And I just wanted to let you know that I thought it was excellent and just like visually striking and just a terrific, terrific film. I really enjoyed it.
Cool. Thank you so much. Glad you liked it.
I was wondering, what kind of inspired you to want to adapt this source material and kind of make this into a feature film on your end?
Well, I think when if well, even from reading the book the first time, long time ago, it kind of just spoke to me thematically with distrust, disinformation, the paranoia, and the extreme choices that these characters have to make out on the ice. And also, obviously, I'm a visual person, and I could just see it in front of me as I read it. I just saw the images of what it could be, and it was just this magical, brutal, real world that just wanted to go out into.
Right. I'm glad that you brought up the visuals because like some of the stuff in the film, like that was the stuff that struck me the most. I mean, the one scene where they were like shining the light and you could see the bodies like underneath the frozen ice. As tragic as that was just like just a beautiful looking shot as well. And I was wondering, what was your process like as far as like creating some of the visuals for the film? Like, what was the preparation like, and kind of getting it to where it was in the final product?
Well, I think a lot of the stuff we worked on was to create something that wasn't necessarily, it was haunting is a good word that we wanted to create. It's like for the film, it felt really important that the environment and the ice and the dark and the cold was like a character in its own right almost, and that the inherent danger of that world, but also the beauty of it. So everything like that wanted to be taken out. And then the question becomes like, okay, it's also a film, so how do you light it? How do you see what's going on? And we started talking about and starting looking at like paintings. It's like, old romantic paintings, the moonlight. And it's like, okay, how did they do it in the 1800s when they painted the moonlit scenario? So we kind of went to those sources and tried to figure out what the world would actually look like and how we would light it. But and then just reality, trying to make it look as real as possible and visceral.
Yeah, of course. There are a lot of like post-apocalyptic kind of films that we've kind of seen. I was wondering what did you set out to kind of do to kind of make yours a little bit different to make it like be set apart from what we've seen before?
Well, one thing that I really want to avoid was to explain what had actually happened.
Yeah, I love that part of it too. Yeah,
I find that always quite tedious and boring, and I don't know, never really works for me. I really like it because it doesn't really matter. We all know that shit can happen in so many different ways. And I think one of the themes of the film is what do you do? What would you do in a situation like this? When stuff has happened, what are you willing to do for your own survival a little bit?
Right.
So in a way, I wanted to remove as many explanations as possible to be able to go into it kind of raw and fresh, so it would just be the experience, so that it just, as for me, it felt like it would be easier for people to vision themselves in this situation when they're just there.
Yeah. You have a fantastic leading lady, and I feel kind of lucky too. I've been immersed in her world a lot lately. Her last three films I've been lucky to review, and they've all been great. And I was wondering, what was it like for you to get to work with her and develop her character, and just the process of like developing this with her as well?
I mean, she came on board really early on, like 6 years ago or something. I went and met her in Prague while she was shooting something else. And we started talking about the world and the role, and she liked it. So from then on, I mean, when we wrote it, she was Ed, she was the lead of it. So it all kind of developed around her. And then I think I've shot a lot of stuff, but it's my first film, my first movie.
Right.
So she was a great companion to have on my side, with all her experience and her skill to like help also take this film into reality. She's been an integral part of that, and I think she brings always some sort of fire to every role she's in. There's such intensity and also realism in a lot of her performances, and I think for this role, we also, it's like for all of the characters in it, they needed to be real people, not some elite squad of super soldiers. They're there because they can skate.
Exactly.
So they needed to be humans, with all their weaknesses and frailties and fears. But also, after 5 years in a world like this, you would be quite a hard survivor.
Right.
And I think all those things are kind of built into her already. So,
Yeah, I think that's what kind of resonates the most too is, like you said, these are like regular people. And then like for her, like her motivations are purely to be able to see her daughter.
Yeah.
And, I was happy you brought that up, that it wasn't some elite team of super soldiers. It just made the story feel more real and just feel more grounded. And I think that was like the appropriate approach to take with this. And it really worked.
Cool.
As far as like the conditions, because, the conditions appear to be grueling, but what was it like shooting? Like, how much of it is on location? How much is it on a stage? I was kind of curious as to what your process was like for that.
I mean, we wanted to shoot as much as possible on location, but we started shooting during one of the warmest winters in Swedish history, so it was very hard to find ice. But all of those, like the wide ice shots, are real. They shot on real ice, and then we went up to the far north of Sweden, where the ice hotel is, Jukkasjärvi.
Nice.
So, and shot on a frozen lake there. So we shot quite a lot of stuff there, and then but some of the set pieces, like when they're on the thin ice and when they go through the hole in the ice, those are on stage. So but a lot of it is real. And most of the other exterior locations are just not sets. They are real places.
Nice. Well, they're wrapping me up here. I just want to say again, congratulations on the film. I know you said you shot a lot of things before, but congratulations on this being like your big first feature film. It was really good, and I really enjoyed watching it. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah,
Stay safe out there.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Vi håller på att förlora kriget. Men vi har nu presenterats för en sista utväg. För första gången på 37 år är hela skärgården istäckt. Välkommen till Operation Svart Krabba. Ert uppdrag består nu av att ta er tvärs över is.
Det är ett självmordsuppdrag, överste.
Vi hittar henne i en flyktingförläggning vid gränsen. Ni kommer att återförenas så snart du kommer fram.
Det är inte slutet på kriget. Det är slutet på allting.
Det är inte alla som kommer att klara det. Men det räcker att en kommer fram. Hon kan vinna kriget åt oss.
Vanja. Det är bara vi och fienden här ute nu. Säg inte att det kommer bli lätt. Det finns en chans att vi kan klara det. Vi måste klara det.